This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell, and we're coming to you live and around the world from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Worldwide, toll-free, 800-610-7035. Email xzone at xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And you can listen to the X-Zone live and the best of that we continuously play at www.xzoneradiotv.com. We're heard around the world on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and Starcom Radio Network. My guest this hour is Rodney Shortridge. He is the founder of Black Diamond Paranormal Society, or BDPS. He started this organization to search and find evidence of the paranormal. Through the years, he has experienced and witnessed many unexplained phenomenon. Randy has heard footsteps and whistling when no one is there. He has been followed by apparitions and had been awakened by the deceased. His uncle shared with him evidence of EVPs, which everyone knows is electronic voice phenomenon, and ghostly photos that he has collected through the many years of investigating the paranormal. They sat down and discussed creating a paranormal group for this area, and within weeks, Randy came up with BDPS. Randy has put together a team of paranormal investigators and started in August of 2008 investigating the southwestern Virginia and southern West Virginia areas. Their website, www.blackdiamondps.org. And joining me now is the founder, Rodney Shortridge. Rodney, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Hey, listen, thanks very much for coming on the show. I have to ask you, you've been followed by apparitions, woken up by the deceased. How did you feel when this first started?
Well, when I was first woken up, it'd been, I'd say about a year and a half after my father passed away.
Uh-huh.
And I took his death really hard because me and one of my uncles tried to save him. And
oh, I'm sorry to hear that. My sympathies.
I appreciate that. And I guess it was his way of coming back to let me know everything was okay because, like I said, I was having a hard time dealing with his death.
Yeah.
I'd been out that night and probably drunk way too much. And he woke me up like he always did when I was a kid, grabbed me by the shoulder and just slowly wake, hey, Rodney,
Mm-hmm.
kind of wake up. And, I kind of rolled over and looked at him, and I said, leave me alone, I'm sleepy. And he shook me again, and then I realized, wait a minute, he shouldn't be here. And I looked at him, and he was smiling, and he said, it's okay. He said, everything will be okay. And he smiled and just faded away.
Wow.
Now, was that my mind telling me that I needed that, or was it really my dad that showed up in the afterlife? I don't know, but he gave me a message to help me, I guess, start on the path of trying to straighten myself up.
Randy, tell us about the formation of the Black Diamond Paranormal Society, and why Black Diamond?
Well, in this area, in southwest Virginia and southern West Virginia and eastern Kentucky, I live right in that area. And it's nothing but coal fields. and that's, you know, they call coal around here black
Gotcha,
diamond.
right.
And, you know, I wanted to pay the miners, because my father was a miner. I worked in the mines a little bit when I was younger, and most of my family and friends are all in the coal business somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to do that to pay homage and some respect to the men and women that have worked so hard in you know, in these dark holes and producing all this coal for the metal and electricity.
That's admirable.
And as far as how I got started, like I said, one of my uncles, he married into the family later on, and to my aunt, and he was showing me some EVPs and some photos he had taken, and he'd been hush-hushed about doing this type of, I guess, work, because in this area, it's really a taboo thing to talk about. You know, everybody has an experience, but no one really wants to talk about it. And he'd heard stories from other people in the family. I guess my dad had told him that, you know, I'd seen things when I was a kid, you know, strange lights, couldn't explain. I'd go up in the mountains a lot and hunting all by myself, and, you know, there was a man that followed me on the other side of the mountain for years, and, you know, I finally broke down and asked Dad, you know, who is this guy? I described him, and he's like, well, the only person I've known ever lived up there was when I was a kid, and he was an old man, and he was kind of a hermit. But he said, son, he died like in 1955. And, shoot, that was like 1982.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's, you know, like I said, it's a really big taboo thing in this area.
Why is it taboo?
It's really a religious area.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, a lot of people believe in God, and you got all these different types of churches in this area. I guess they just automatically think that you're, you know, if you see these things or if you're able to talk to it or it talks to you, they think that it's more of a mental thing than actually maybe a spiritual thing.
And yet the Bible is filled with those kind of conversations.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's been one of my arguments with them and with a lot of the religious people around here, and they really they don't like to talk about it. They, you know, they think it's witchcraft or the devil, and it's really hard to open people's minds and eyes to things. I know my dad used to tell me that when I was a kid growing up.
Right.
That I was. He's like, you're a strange one. He said, you always question everything. And he's like, I don't even know how you come up with these questions.
That's what the world needs
really
these days, more questions being asked.
Yeah.
Where has been the most haunted place that you have investigated with the Black Diamond Paranormal Society?
I would have to say in Pocahontas, Virginia. It's it used to be a coal town. And actually, that's where, I guess you can say the coal boom actually started for the Industrial Revolution here on the East Coast. And, you know, there have been a couple explosions in the mines, one in particular in 1884, I think, or 87. There was an explosion that killed over 116 men, and they also had young children in the mines that would help work the mines, and they died.
Oh, gosh.
And they have a cemetery not far from the mines, and we've investigated it 3 times, and these people came from all over the world, and to help, I guess, actually help start build this nation through the Industrial Revolution. And it's just a unique type of cemetery where you have, like I said, these people from all over the world, and they all lived. It was a melting pot in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the mountains of Appalachia, and it's just fascinating. It's a fascinating story, and we've also investigated pretty much the entire town, different churches, a fuel building, the town hall, and so forth. And that town has a lot of different paranormal activity as far as EVPs or video evidence we've gotten, even some photographs we've gotten. And it's a very unique. And when you go there, if you ever get a chance to see it, it does look like a typical. I know the people around here are not going to like it when I say this. It does look like a typical ghost town.
Really? What kind of paranormal activity have you witnessed there?
Like I said, we've captured photos of some of an apparition. It looks like an African American at a African American church. We've got a shadow in the fuel building that walked right by the camera. We have all kinds of different EVPs, especially in the fuel building. There's a man that got shot and killed in the building in the 70s, and one of the EVPs we got is actually of a gunshot.
Now that's strange for an EVP, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But, well, there's a theater that we investigated in Abingdon, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Martyr Theater, and we got a couple of EVPs, but we actually got a duck quack within the theater. And the reason why it's called the Barter Theater, that's how, back in the day, the actors made their money. And that's how people would pay to watch the plays. They would bring them, the actors, food.
Mm-hmm.
They would barter for their services.
Wow. What would you say was your most memorable moment in the field?
The most memorable moment probably is one time me and one of my members were walking by.
Mm-hmm.
It was at the historic Pocahontas Cemetery, and we were walking down a hill, and I could hear someone call my name to the right, and she's right beside me, and I asked her, I said, "Do you hear someone call my name?" And she's like, "No, I don't hear nothing." Well, we keep walking on down the hill, and I kept hearing my name called again. And when I hear my name called, that kind of gives me a little when I first started, kind of creeped me out, but now it doesn't bother me so much. But a lot of places we go to, we get EVPs, whether it's a male, female, or even a child that says my name. So I have an odd feeling that something is following me, or a bunch of them.
As a paranormal investigator, how do you think the TV shows that are supposed to be reality TV shows are actually impacting the paranormal investigation field? Is it positive or is it negative?
Well, I think at the beginning when, like, TAPS came out, I think it was positive. Those guys have done a really good job, and to open up the field and awareness throughout, the United States and, I guess, the world. And but I think all these other shows that have came along within 10 years that they've done this, I think it's starting to get negative because a lot of producers and directors are wanting the ratings, and I'm sure they try to fake stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not positive; I can't say it for sure, but I'm just speaking with the experience we had when we dealt with a major network in L.A. about doing a show, and they asked me to do things that I told them I would not do. I'm not faking nothing. I'm not going to lie about anything. What we get is what we get.
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you.
People have to stand up. I mean, you just to get on TV, to me, it's not worth it. You're taking away from, to me, the science of it. Some groups are more religious or more scientific.
Mm-hmm.
We try to, have a fair balance with that. And you got to stay true to it. If you lie and fake and Photoshop or go in and edit video, and it's just, you're giving some people false hope, or you're making, you could really be damaging some people out there, that whether their beliefs or they think about things, it could really do some serious damage.
Do you have any theories on the paranormal yourself?
I have one, and some people around here think I'm crazy with it, but I think a lot of the paranormal, as far as EVPs or apparitions, I think it might possibly be parallel universes. I think that we may be hearing and seeing a glimpse through a wormhole or something that is causing a lot of this. I can't prove it, but
it does make sense. It's a plausible explanation.
I think so, because a lot of the times, some of the so-called hauntings,
right?
They have nothing to do with any history of the location or the home or the business, or it's just random words or sentences that make no sense, that doesn't respond to anything. It's just, it happens. And that's the reason why that's one of my theories about it.
When your investigation group is called out to do an investigation, how do you proceed? What is your method of operation?
Well, we have a couple case managers. One takes care of the West Virginia side, and one takes care of the Virginia side. They ask them questions such as, one, do they own the property, or can we get permission from the property owner?
Right.
The reason why is that we have forms that I want permission from, so that way, if any local law enforcement come up and ask us what we're doing, we're not trespassing. And we've had to turn down a few cases because it's a renter and they can't get the permission from the landlord. And plus, a landlord really don't want somebody like us coming in saying their place has got something going on, because they may not be able to get no one back in there.
Gotcha. So,
and then,
yeah, go on.
I'm sorry.
No, go on. Go ahead.
And then we'll set up an interview, a pre-investigation interview, where we'll go and talk to the clients and listen to their story, let them show us the hot spots. And normally we spend about an hour or two there, and then we'll set up a date and time to come on out and bring all the equipment and sit and ask questions and see if we can get anything that they're talking about and compare.
Now, how long does it take you to go over the data that you collect and to try and make sense of what you've collected?
Well, it depends on how long we're there. Normally we're at a location anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. So this one we were on just the other night, we were there for 12 hours. And you can see we had 5 cameras and 6 VR out, 3 digital cameras, and I'd say a typical investigation, normally about 120 hours of everything to go through.
Wow.
And then that's not counting, the history. If there's a lot of history, we try to dig up and footwork there. So you're probably looking at another, 5-6 hours added to that.
So not only are you a paranormal investigator, but you're a historian.
Well, I'm not. I have the case managers do it, or
right.
I help them a little bit. But yeah, I guess you could say that.
It's funny because people only hear the paranormal aspect usually, but it's important for me to let people know that there is research and the history of the location where the paranormal event is taking place is also researched, because this could lead to the discovery of what the paranormal event is.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. and also from the clients, their history, because where did they come from? Have they lived there all their life, or did they just recently purchase the place, and are they doing any renovation that might be causing some problems? There's just tons of questions that has to be asked before you actually can even do an investigation.
Now, while you're doing your investigation, are the people who live there allowed to remain in the house, and or do you ask them to leave?
Well, we do ask them to leave, so that way there's no contamination of any type of evidence you may get. Because I've listened to everybody in the group's voices and all their body sounds, so I know everybody.
Right.
And if a client actually sits in, I try to ask them to sit in one spot so I know where they're at, and I keep a recorder on them, so that way if they do make any noises and it picks up in another room, I can compare the two.
Right. Why do you think ghosts hang around in taverns, in hotels, instead of trying to get to the other side?
It may be a place of comfort. I mean, most people, I'm talking from my experience. After a hard day's work, you go where you feel comfortable and hang out and drink a beer or two with some buddies and discuss the day and the ball game or whatever. And as far as a hotel, a lot of times the deaths in a hotel mostly are tragic deaths that you hear about, or somebody just actually dies in their sleep. They may actually get confused and not know where they're at and can't get out.
Yeah. Well, having worked in the mines, and your family has worked in the mines, are there any haunted mines?
Now, the Pocahontas Mines discussing, we investigated it, and we really we had two things that really happened. One, we seen like two shadows actually coming at us. It was lit up just a little bit,
right?
And I thought it was some people that might have actually came in, because the way this mine is cut, you can actually drive through it. It's that big. It's got a 14-foot ceiling, and it's wide enough where you dang near could take two cars through it. And it's a horseshoe shape. And the backside where you can come out, like I said, I thought somebody might have came in and seen us there and was going to try to scare us or something. But the closer I walked up to the shadows, I hollered. I'm like, "Who's there?" All of a sudden, just a big blast of air hit us, and because the two girls were I'd say probably about 50 feet behind me, and they felt the wind too. And I could see why coal mines could be haunted, because there's a lot of death in mines, either by the equipment or people being worked to death, especially back in the day. And I could see where they could actually probably get trapped there, because it's a maze. They're like a honeycomb.
Fascinating. With all the investigations that you have done, have you found there to be a common thread or similarities between the people who report paranormal activity to you that request your expertise to do an investigation?
I've been looking for that, trying to see if there's a pattern to that in the past 7 years, and really there is. I haven't found a pattern yet. I've tried. Everyone that's contacted us are from different backgrounds, male, female, different religious views or opinions, different political views, different parts of the states. I haven't found a common thread yet, or a pattern. Try to piece it together, but I'm sure that there is one. I just ain't figured it out yet.
Have you ever felt that you or a member of your team has been in danger when doing an investigation of a paranormal activity?
Yeah, we did an investigation at a local house, and it's actually called the Molly Tynes house. Molly Tynes was a lady that heard that the Union soldiers, when they were here in our area, that they were going to go over across a couple mountains and attack assault mines over in Saltville. So her dad told her that she needed to go warn the Confederate troops that they're coming. And she made the ride over there. It's like 47 miles. And she did it all at dark. And her home, when we investigated it, I had the feeling, we had a lot of people there, her team members, and we're like family. I mean, we're really a tight-knit bunch. And that night, I was just kind of like floating around, checking on each team. And this happened 2 or 3 times within the night. I was with different team members, and we were talking and asking questions and so forth. And I started having flashes in my head of hurting these people, hurting them bad. Like one in particular, I had a flash of just grabbing this log that was laying by the fireplace and just smashing his head in. And then his girlfriend, choking her to death. And I'm like, why am I thinking this? So I went outside, smoked a couple cigarettes, calmed down, because it was making me really anxious.
I guess it would, yeah.
And then I went upstairs with a couple other guys while they were doing their investigation. Mm-hmm. And their rage was starting to build up again, this feeling of, just snapping their necks and just beating the crap out of them. And I'm like, why is this happening? And then I go back outside and calm down again. And then went back in about 30 minutes later, and the same thing happens with another team. And I just actually, took myself out of the investigation because I was afraid I was going to hurt somebody. And I would never hurt these people.
Strange. But we're talking about the paranormal, so anything could happen. Rodney, stand by. You and I have to take a short news break. We'll be back shortly. Exonation, Rodney Shortridge is our special guest. He is the founder of the Black Diamond Paranormal Society, or BDPS. Their website is www.blackdiamondps.org. And Rodney and I will be back on the other side of this break as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. X-Zone, don't forget, Wednesday, September 30th, we are going to be having the Debates of Debate. Stanton T. Friedman debating Michael Horn. The topic, the Billy Meyer UFO case. That is on September 30th. It's a Wednesday from 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. Eastern. And then from 10 p.m. until midnight, we have a round table with experts discussing the findings of the debate. I'll be back on the other side as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. If you'd like to give us a call, 1-800-610-7035. Email xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And you can listen to us 7/24/365 at www.xzoneradiotv.com. Rodney Shortridge is my guest. www.blackdiamondps.org. We'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go away.
X-Zone TV show with Rob McConnell is coming to screens of all sizes. UFOs, ghosts, alien abductions, psychic phenomenon, lake monsters, angels, Bigfoot, unsolved mystery, and all subjects from within the world of the paranormal to the science of parapsychology and beyond. The X-Zone TV Show with Rob McConnell, www.xzonetv.com, is a rel-mar McConnell media company and Benedict Productions production.
Manifestation is driven by imagination, intent, and passion. In our culture, all three have been distorted and disabled by modern media and exploitation. Re-engage your imagination and your passion by entering into the world of paranormal romance. Kahir O'Donnell takes her readers on an exciting journey into the endless possibilities of loving, passionate, and mutually respectful male-female relationship. Her latest book, The Long Dark Night, features special ops adventure, a daring rescue, a psychic woman from the stars, and a special agent that will die to protect her. The Long Dark Night by Kahira O'Donnell is now available at kahiraodonnell.com or amazon.com.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
What if someone told you you could live to be 120? Would you believe him? What if he told you the Bible guaranteed it? All you needed to do was follow his rules and buy his products. Would you do it? What if you invested 20 years of your life in him? What if he tested his substances on your child? What if your child became brain damaged as a result? Meet Dr. Tyler Belknap, a fast-talking Texas admin turned health guru. At the helm of a vast health food and supplement empire, he has established himself as the authority on nutrition and longevity. But what his followers don't know is that his products are laced with bizarre psychoactive substances from genetically modified plants developed in his very own secret lab. No wonder his customers can't stop using them. Tyler Belknap will stop at nothing to keep his edge in the market, even if it means experimenting on children. Chasing 120, a story of food, faith, fraud, and the pursuit of longevity, a novel from the pen of political cartoonist Monty Wolverton, is an easy and entertaining read full of rich characters and intrigue. It hits home in a world filled with all kind of hucksterism and offers a glimpse of what can happen when GMO technology falls into the wrong hands. Chasing 120 by Monty Wolverton. Get your copy today at www.ptm.org/120 or on amazon.com. Welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell. My special guest this hour is Rodney Shortridge. He is the founder of the Black Diamond Paranormal Society, or BDPS, and his website is www.blackdiamondps.org. And Rodney, great having you with us. And I must tell you something. I admire the respect that you've shown for those in your community, those in your life, and those that you've worked with by calling your organization Black Diamond. That is commendable, young man.
Oh, thank you, sir.
So tell me, what other aspects of the paranormal do you guys investigate? I know you do ghost and ghost towns, but what else do you do?
Well, we haven't branched off yet, but we've really wanted to go into cryptozoology and maybe look into the Bigfoot part of it, because I don't know. I feel like there's something to that because of things things I've seen and heard, especially here in these mountains. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, the windows open and you hear the yell, and it's not a bear, it's not a coyote, it's not a wolf, because we really don't have no wolves around here that I know of, and it isn't a dog. So I've always been intrigued to actually go that avenue. And also one investigation we did at a park quite a few years back, me and one of my investigators were walking back behind the park, and it had some pavement on it. Mm-hmm. But when I went back and was listening to the audio, it sounded like we were in a building walking across a metal catwalk.
Wow. And
it lasted like 20 seconds. But we didn't see anything. We didn't feel anything. We didn't even talk about it because, we was just having a discussion. And I wonder if we walked through some type of, I don't know, time warp, wormhole, what happened to cause that? Yeah. And I haven't yet to find that answer.
Tell me, in your area of the United States, southwestern Virginia and southwestern West Virginia, are there reports of Bigfoot?
Yes, there was actually a report just a few days ago of a Bigfoot sighting in a town about 40 miles away from where I live.
Wow.
And someone apparently got a couple pictures, but of course, like most of the pictures are quite grainy, and I'm sure a lot of people will say or ask the question, well, why isn't there a clear photo of them? Well, when you see a 7 or 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot hairy man, the first response in your mind is, like me, I'd be like, I can't believe I'm seeing this. And, people don't even think about their phone or a camera. And then when they do, it's too late.
But why don't you think there's never been a corpse of a Bigfoot found, or, going through the mountain, going through Appalachia, the mountains? We've done this many times, driving from Canada down to Florida. I love Virginia, the most friendly people in the world, and yet the roads go through the mountains, and there's never been a Bigfoot body that's been hit by a trucker, by a car, by a state policeman. How can they stay so evasive all these years?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of animals, if you think about it, they're quite evasive. But granted, you do have people that hit them with a car or a truck or something. But I've walked all over the mountains in 2 or 3 counties. I was a big time hunter back in the day. I just hunt a little bit now, and I've never walked upon a bear carcass
Really?
before. And I've seen a couple bears, but I've never seen their remains. And there's quite a few in this area. Coyote remains or something like that. Rarely have I've seen, I think, one. So I don't know how to explain that, but there's a lot of animals that die in the woods that no one ever sees their remains. So.
That's true. Let me ask you something. How do you guys fund yourself? Because it's time, equipment costs money, gas money, accommodations, out-of-pocket expenses. How do you guys fund all of your investigations?
Well, a lot of the equipment I purchased. We have a membership due that I charge everybody, And even myself, I don't ask no one to do anything that I wouldn't do, and it's like $40 a year.
Right.
It's not much because we live in a pretty depressed area, and it helps a little bit. And if we are going to take a trip or an investigation that's a few hours away, and we got to stay the night over,
right,
then we break down the cost, and everybody pitches in together.
Do you have any fundraising events?
Oh yeah, we help the historical Pocahontas in Pocahontas, Virginia. Actually, a board member of that, and try to help them raise some money to help keep the buildings maintained and keep them open. And it also helps, give people the awareness of an old coal town, and we make a little bit of money out of that, but it's not much. Most of it goes to historic Pocahontas.
Right.
We just have fun doing them.
So tell me, what are your future plans for the Black Diamond Paranormal Society?
As far as I know, we're just staying the course. We just keep, when people ask us, to come and do an investigation or talk about it, we do. We go to a lot of local events, jamborees and festivals, and we have a lot of people in the community come up and tell us their ghost stories, and it makes them feel comfortable that they're like, finally, I felt someone I could talk to about something I've heard, and we actually are going to have a walking tour. This will be our 4th year in Pocahontas, and show people around the town and tell them the history of the town and the buildings, and also the paranormal aspect of it just a little bit. And we also are, because like I said, the town it had like 12,000 people at one time, and now it's only got like 400. So we're trying to bring a little awareness to the town and get some people in there, because one of these days I'm afraid it'll be gone, and then people have nothing but just photos to remember it by.
How many members of the Black Diamond Paranormal Society are there now?
Right now there's 13.
Wow. Well, there's a number. That's good for the paranormal, number 13.
Yeah.
When you're out and about, how do you deal with some people who are skeptics, who must challenge you and on what you guys do and what you believe? How do you deal with them? I just
tell them to either go to our website and look at the audio, or listen to the audio, look at the photos and the video, and make up your own mind or conclusion about it, because it's really hard to change anyone's mind, even even if they see it with their own eyes. Most people, if they're a really hardcore skeptic, they're not going to believe it. I mean, I'm even a skeptic about a lot of stuff I've seen and heard, but I try really hard to rationalize and explain whatever experience that anyone's going through.
But you see, to me, you sound like an open-minded skeptic. You're not closed-minded.
Yeah. Right, that's right. I'm an open-minded. Yes, that's true. Probably too much, but oh well.
What would you like to tell the members of the Exo Nation around the world about the paranormal? What are your final thoughts? What would you like to leave them with tonight?
I would say don't be afraid of it. Ask questions. If you have something going on in your home, grab a recorder and just ask questions. Who are you? Why are you here? Is there something we can do for you? Because I know a lot of people into the demons and the demonology and the negative part of it. I don't think it's as negative as what they portray, a lot of people, because, like I said, we've been doing this for quite a while, and we haven't run into that. I know it's out there, but I think just don't be afraid of it. Just like I said, just ask the questions, and if you want it to leave, ask it to leave. If it won't leave, try to incorporate it into your family.
Why do you why do you think that some spirits stay, some ghosts stay, and others go to the light and continue on whatever journey we're on?
It could be a number of things. It could be that they didn't finish something in life that you're trying to finish in death. It could be something they're attached to, a home or a piece of property or a family member or a friend. It could be that they're scared to go into the light. It's, like I said, it's just a number of things that I know that if I was to pass away right now, and I would want to stay around to watch my grandkids grow up, and then I could move on. That would be the reason why I would want to stay.
I can understand that. I really can. Speaking about negative entities and demons, how do you protect yourself from not bringing one of them home with you?
I just ask them to stay there. I tell them that I don't need you at my house. I have plenty of people there. I don't need no more company.
But what happens if they don't listen to you and they decide to come along anyway?
Well, I guess I'm stuck with them. That's another one.
Yeah.
But there's some people in the group, like I said, they pray before an investigation and after. Me, I'm just a type of person. I'm blunt. Just please stay here. Please, I got enough at home.
What kind of training do your investigators go through?
Well, when we take new trainees on, we just put them with the experienced investigators, and we show them how to operate the equipment and how we do our EVP sessions and how we take photos, how we set up for an investigation, the cameras and so forth, and the meters. We just slowly walk them in for about 4 to 6 investigations, and then, kind of let them go on their own with another member and let that member just sit back and let them lead it.
Gotcha. How many investigations have you done since you started going back to 2008?
We've done our 45th Saturday night.
Wow.
We've done a county jail. And we have, I'm not in it for the numbers. They've been some years we've done like 1 a month. Some years we've done 3 or 4 investigations a year. A lot of groups are tied in. They want to go to Waverly Hills or someplace like that. I would love to do that, but those places cost a lot of money to go, and we can't afford that. And plus, so many investigators have done it, and hey, don't get me wrong, I respect what they've done. The evidence they've shown is amazing.
Whoa, what was that, Craig? Oh. Producer hit the wrong button. Thanks. You scared the living heck out of me and my guest. Oh, sorry about that, Rodney.
That's all right.
Yeah, but when you hear about Waverly and all the other top hauntings, it kind of, like you see it once on TV with one ghost hunting show. You see, it's done. It's been done. So why redo it?
Well, that's true, and I could see a lot of people that would say that it's done. But I would think that maybe your experience, yourself or your team's experience would be different than what everybody else's experience, because you're, different people going to probably ask different questions, hopefully. But we're real big at trying to, help people that just call us up.
Wow.
I know some. They don't even like doing residential, and they refuse to do residential, and really? I enjoy doing those.
Is it? I was just thinking about what you said, and I was just trying to formulate this question, so that's why the bit of the pause there. Is it possible that different people, like you just said, when they do an investigation, get different results? And if so, why would they get different results?
It could be because of their their mindset, their religious, they're, again, just that person, their religious or politics or their type of work, their way of thinking, whether they're open or minded. I'm sure it has a lot to do with each individual's different personalities. And, you may be a certain force or spirit may be attracted to one person or group because they have so much something similar to them that they can connect with.
Mm-hmm. What would you like to see if you could make a couple of changes within the paranormal investigative community? What changes would you like to see right across the board?
Right across the board, working together and cooperating and sharing information, evidence, and quit being so daggone competitive. This ain't a sprint.
Yeah.
This is a marathon, people. We got to take our time and work together, and maybe we would actually get some answers instead of walking away with more questions.
But I'm going to tell you something, my friend. It's like that in every aspect of the paranormal, whether it's cryptozoology, whether it's UFOs, whether it's ancient mysteries, whether it's ghosts, unsolved mysteries. There's no sharing of information, and that, in my opinion, is the biggest problem. Because if you look at the way law enforcement works, they share the information to catch the bad guy in order to get the proof that is necessary to convince the skeptics and the naysayers. You have to work together.
That's true. And I don't understand why everyone doesn't want to work together. I think it's because somebody's waiting to get that one piece of evidence just blows someone away, the world away, and they want it to be exclusive to it and leave everybody out. Like, look what I got. You'll never get that.
You know what? In my opinion, they're barking up the wrong tree. Because as long as you have this competitiveness and you're not sharing information, it's just like doing a jigsaw puzzle. I believe we each have the piece of the jigsaw puzzle of life in our pocket. In order to solve the mysteries of life, we all need to go to this giant jigsaw puzzle, put our pieces on the table, and work together.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. Hey, Rodney, I hate to do this, but our time is up for tonight, my friend. This hour went by way too fast. Love to have you back on in the future. Keep me in the loop of investigations that you guys do, and we'll get you back on. Rodney, let our listeners know how they can find out more about you, buddy.
They can contact us on our website at blackdiamondps.org, or you can email us at blackdiamondps@yahoo.com, or you can give me a phone call.
Well, we're going to give you your phone number on our site. So thanks very much, Rodney. X-Zone Nation. I'll be back on the other side of this break as we continue from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.